Immigrant women are at high risk for domestic violence, but they also face additional challenges in a country that is unfamiliar to them. To survive domestic violence, immigrant women must navigate language barriers, cultural differences, and social isolation. They also often lack financial resources due to their inability to pursue legal employment. Although U.S. law provides specific protections for immigrant women who are victims of domestic violence, they often mistakenly believe they have no control of their rights and no way to obtain legal status independently. 5 courageous women have agreed to share their stories in order to assist immigrant women and their advocates in navigating the road to independence. These survivors of domestic violence, who have successfully changed their lives, describe the unique hurdles immigrant women face in escaping abusive circumstances, accessing social and legal services, and obtaining legal immigration status.
Cuando quedo embarazada, me di cuenta de que mi relación con él ya no tenía. Un día estaba feliz y 2 o 3 días estaba deprimido, triste, enojado, agresivo, por cualquier razón. Me empecé a preparar pensando y guardando dinero. Yo tenía un buen trabajo y ganaba razonablemente bien y empecé a guardar dinero para pagar los gastos del bebé. Me di cuenta que fue él porque yo le venía diciendo desde que estaba embarazada que, bueno, que yo me iba a regresar a Argentina y por esa razón supe que fue él. Y aparte el uso extremo de drogas ya era súper evidente.
Immigrant women face particular dangers when contacting the police. Some of these are language barriers, which could prevent them from explaining what happened to them. Often the police don't use interpreters, and in some cases they will speak with the abuser, who is the one that speaks English, and of course will minimize whatever incident happened.
Ante todo, miedo de perder a mi hijo, porque escuché a mucha gente, a lo mejor ignorante o por falta de información, de decir que si te deportan te sacan el hijo, que como el hijo es nacido acá. Ese era uno de mis miedos.
At the very front end, though, doing work with victim assistance programs and letting victim assistance programs know, one, that a person's immigration status should not be relevant to seeking relief in terms of what law enforcement provides, protective orders, any of the other protections that are available under domestic, state, or federal law for survivors of abuse should not be dependent upon immigration status. And questions should not be raised about somebody's immigration status in that context.
When we lived in China, Leon was a very nice person. He always cheerful and nice to me and my family and my friends. Leon took me to United States is because Leon was tired of China. He pushed me out and I refused. And I was holding the baby and he called the cop. The police came and Leon insisted the police to take me out, and he even wanted the police to deport me, and the police said, are you guys legally married? And he said yes, and the police said, so she has the right to live here.
Immigrant women are uniquely impacted upon domestic violence, and they often have language barriers that are significant. Their inability to be able to read English, their ability to be able to use the transportation system, and the fear that their husbands have control over them and will report them if they would go to the police or try to challenge them in any way whatsoever is a significantly unique situation for these women.
And everything was very nice, and I didn't know later on I could have the life like a nightmare. He just lied to me, and he just forced me to get money from my parents. He was very controlling. I couldn't use even internet. I couldn't write emails because he had to check everything. He told me he should know all passwords I have for my emails and who do I talk to. And I was scared because he always said he will kick us out of this country, me and my family. This police officer had told me, if you want to still be alive, go to get the protection order. If you will go back to the house, one day you may lose your life.
When this client came to see me, she was unable to speak. She cried constantly every time she tried to explain what was happening to her. The abuse was prevalent at the time, and she had already filed several police reports against her spouse, and she had 2 protection from abuse orders against him, but he continued to harass her and stalk her. So when she came to our agency, we did safety planning with her to ensure that she was gonna be safe going back home and while she was inside the house. We also refer her to an agency here in Philadelphia where she was able to get free counseling.
Immigrant victims of domestic violence face serious danger from abusive partners that requires effective safety planning. A safety plan helps clients to remain safe while in the home, to file protective orders as necessary, and to be ready for an unplanned departure. In addition to preparing personal items, clients should be encouraged to gather and secure important identification documents and evidence of abuse.
I would advise to that woman, first thing, call police. If they are scared to call police, they should call to hotline. There are a lot of emergency numbers from Women Against Abuse or Lutheran Settlement House. They providing a lot of services.
So bad, you know. I go breeding, I come back, he's stay home. If I come in, he's take the money. If I don't want to give the money, he's hate me. I don't want to stay together to him, but I don't have choice. I don't know where to go. I cannot pay rent.
The husband will take their money and not allow them to be able to keep that for themselves. So there really are significant issues and concerns that if they were to leave this husband, that they would really be at a loss with being able to provide for their children and for themselves.
When he's hit me, the people who's here I scream and they call police coming. But before the police coming, he's take the money and he's take the paper, his paper, everything he's needed, he's take there, he's go. And the police come in, meet me to the hospital, and they check my baby, and the doctor say my baby gonna come in born early.
The first time I met Aisha was at Children's Hospital in the newborn intensive care unit 6 years ago. And at that time, her son was born prematurely, 25 weeks. 40 weeks is a normal gestation. So he was very, very ill, was at life and death for months when he first came to the hospital, and was actually inpatient for 11 months.
It's cold outside, very cold, snow. And I don't have jacket, I don't have socks, and I don't have money for take the bus for go hospital, and I'm hungry. The children hungry, no food.
Aisha and I worked very hard and a long time together in trying to get community supports for her and for her family, supports that she desperately needed. Once I realized that she didn't even have bus money to be able to get to the hospital, and she was coming in the winter, in the cold, we were able to then provide her with tokens, provide her with financial support, went to the Department of Public Welfare so that her children ended up getting insurance, made it possible for her to get food stamps and to be able to feed her family.
When Deborah sent me to the family support people, they come into the lady come in my house, she's taking me to go to the welfare. If we go over there, it's trouble too, because they keep saying no. They cannot help me because I don't have ID, I'm not legal here. A lot of time, like almost 9-10 times, we go for only for half food stamp they don't want to give me. And the children born here.
A worker at Department of Public Welfare who basically told my client that they did not deserve to be here and did not deserve to get the services that they were getting. And the client was very upset, was in tears, left the agency, and Community Legal Services was able to file a report, talk to the supervisor, and the person was told that this was unacceptable, and there was they asked for forgiveness.
In such situations, social workers are instrumental in helping their clients navigate the maze of government agencies while recognizing that the process of securing legal immigration status will delay their clients' ability to obtain necessary services. U.S. immigration law provides several protections for legal and undocumented immigrants who have been victims of crimes. Since victims are often unaware of these protections, frontline workers serve as a critical source of information for immigrant survivors of domestic violence seeking to obtain legal status. A victim of domestic violence may apply for U non-immigrant status if she has suffered substantial mental or physical abuse as a result of criminal behavior, and she is helpful in assisting law enforcement or the government in investigating that activity. Approved U visa applicants are granted temporary legal status and work eligibility for 4 years. They can apply for permanent residency after 3 years.
I explained to them everything, and they helped me for have work authorization card. And I go find a job. Now I have job. When I have my ID, I have job. I start working for help my children.
When I arrived, he was completely different. I stay whole day with no phone. I see in windows, everything is different for me. You know, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know any street, I have to go and come back. My brother asked him, why you hit her? Why you hit her? Because that's why you don't have a phone, because she can't call the police, or she can't call anybody to help her. You're not allowed, whatever happened. If you don't want her, just leave her. He said, no, she's my wife and she's gonna stay here. If you take her with you, I'm gonna call the immigration.
More often than not, when you're working in immigrant communities, you have mixed families, mixed status families. And so you might have the victim of domestic violence being a citizen, but the sister or another family member who's living in that same household isn't. And they'll be reluctant to call the police or engage with law enforcement and seek help.
So after, I think, 2 months or 3 months, I find the immigration sent me deportation form.
By the time I met with this client, she had been already placed in removal proceedings. So the deportation process started in her case. That complicated things a little bit more for us, but we were still able to file a self-petition in her case.
Under the Violence Against Women Act, or VAWA, immigrant survivors of domestic violence can self-petition for lawful permanent residency without the cooperation of their abusive spouses.
The biggest misconception is that they don't have any options for relief, right? They don't have any options for getting out of the situation of violence, and that there are not systems and programs available to them to assist them.
Both the U-Visa and VAWA processes require official documentation. In Philadelphia, Domestic Violence Form 75-48, documenting abuse, must be available to any domestic violence victim who requests a copy, free of charge and without delay. In order to obtain a U-Visa, proof of cooperation must be certified by either law enforcement, a judge, or the district attorney's office. Under VAWA, battery and/or extreme cruelty can be proved through a client affidavit, protection order, medical records, or letters from a domestic violence counselor. Once again, frontline professionals, police, lawyers, judges, social workers, and doctors are uniquely positioned to assist immigrant survivors of domestic violence by accurately documenting the abuse they experienced.
Now sometimes they ask me, Mommy, now we okay? Mommy, now we okay? See, Mommy, before we now okay. Before is hard, Mommy. You cry. Lar, I say, yeah, I cry. You know, anytime I cry, he's asking me, Mommy, what happened? You cry. Why you cry? Don't cry, Mommy, you gonna be okay.
I rent the apartment again, and I been to the school to do like assistant nurse, just for working, and I put my daughter in daycare, and I buy car. I do everything I want now. So I enjoy my time. Actually, I forget everything. I try to forget. You see, I talk. I am not crying, so I'm done. I'm good.
Si Dios quiere quedarme en este país, sacar adelante a mi hijo y reorganizarme, volver a intentar, creo en la familia y conseguir a un hombre bueno que quiera a mi hijo y bueno, tener mi familia, seguir adelante.
Crisis daycare, and it helps the family that in the crisis situation like me. So with this childcare support, I can go to work, and my children can stay in the daycare.
I met someone who helped me, who advised me, Lutheran Settlement House. So I started going for counseling. It really helped. That made me stronger, and they helped me to recognize when someone is abusive.